Papa. Hi, guys.
I like your theme song. That was good.
It was a yawn that turned into a song that turned into an intro. Jason, tell them what we're reviewing this time.
Today, we had the honor, pleasure, fun to watch Clerks
3.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't do 3D, by the way. Like, they didn't make a joke about 3D. I'm glad they didn't, but...
So I'll tell you right now, I'm not a huge Kevin Smith fan. Not because I don't like him, but just because I never got into his movies.
You didn't watch him until way later.
I watched Clerks 1 and Clerks 2, parts of it. And I liked him. I like Jay and Silent Bob a lot. I really love Jason Mewes. He's my number one celebrity crush.
She likes Jason Mewes from Zack and Miri Make a
He
Porno
hangs so much
in
dong,
the
guys.
last shot of the movie.
He hangs so much dong. And
dick
he has
scene.
not aged a day.
It is.
Clerks 3 opens up and you're like, oh, Dante, but you're looking old, son. Oh, Randal, whoa, dude, you're looking old, son. And then you're like, Jay and Silent Bob. Oh, Silent Bob's so skinny. Because Kevin Smith has lost a lot of weight.
Tan AF.
Tan? And he's just, but you can see it in his face. He's gotten a little older. He's gotten a little skinnier. And I'm like, but it looks good on him.
Oh, yeah.
And then I see Jason and I'm like, you haven't aged a day.
They just CGI'd his face in from the first movie.
Well, like, what was it? Was he a heroin or a meth dude? But whatever it was, kept him looking young because dude is fine as hell.
I don't think he did drugs.
I think he did.
Really? I don't. Oh,
Jason, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Jason Mewes, if you're watching this, let us know because I don't think you did.
And come over and hang out. Like, we're cool people.
I saw them live in DeKalb in like 1999.
Yeah.
It was so awesome seeing them live because Jason Mewes, outside of the J role, way different. He's like a really humble guy. He's very kind and sweet.
Oh, that makes me love him even more.
Yeah, it was really nice, and he was funny as hell, but not like forcing to be funny.
Yeah,
he was
just a
like,
naturally funny, genuine guy.
Yeah, and that's when I fell in love with him. Like I liked Kevin Smith, I liked Silent Bob.
Yeah.
But Jay was always like, oh, that's the neurotic asshole guy. But then I'm like you see who he really
him as
is,
a person.
and then you're like, oh God. Like my favorite story about Jason Mewes ever. I know this is getting way off topic.
Everyone loves to hear more about Jason Mewes. Tell us.
Was when they did the movie Dogma. Kevin Smith told Jason, it's like, look, we have a Shakespearean-trained actor, Alan Rickman, coming to act in this movie. You cannot fuck up on set.
You need to show him you're serious.
Yes.
Don't make me look bad.
So Jason Mewes freaked the fuck out over this. And while they're shooting the scenes, Jason's behind the camera. And Kevin looks over at him, and Jason is mouthing everybody's lines.
He memorized everyone's lines?
And he goes, did you memorize the whole script? He goes, yeah, you scared the shit out of me. I memorized the entire script. So I thought that was like my favorite story about him.
Dedicated.
Yeah, but he was scared because he didn't want to look like an asshole in front of this like great actor.
Well, Alan Rickman, though.
Yeah. So anyway, Clerks 3, I grew up on Clerks.
I did not.
Clerks was probably like the first indie film.
You told me you loved
that
it.
I loved.
From the beginning. I remember that
it came out in '95 on VHS. I ran out to the video store. I had a duplicator. I recorded the fuck out of that movie. I loved Clerks. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I wasn't working in retail at that time, but by the time I was working in retail, it hit
home, didn't it?
It was the Bible of working in retail.
Yeah.
But Clerks 3, when it got announced, I wasn't really interested in it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like,
flip your
I
lid?
didn't like Clerks 2. I know everyone and their brother liked Clerks 2. I wasn't that big of a fan. It didn't have the same heart that I thought 1 did. So I was never really interested.
That's what's good about
every other film besides Tusk, I've really liked of Kevin Smith's.
Yeah, he knows how to write a heartfelt character.
He knows, oh my God, he's a good character writer. So anyway, what's the movie about?
So, they're stoners, but they're selling weed legally now. And they're playing
That's Jay and Silent Bob.
They're playing hockey on the roof.
I like that you're just like remembering scenes.
And
the movie is about an aged Dante and Randal.
And then aged Dante and aged Randal, one of them has a heart attack.
Which one?
And the really old-looking one, the blonde one. Randal.
I'm glad you remember this movie so well.
And so he goes to the hospital. Oh, now he's alive and he faces his mortality. So now he's going to make a movie about himself.
He meets the goddess.
They start casting. And then somewhere in there, this is how I watch the rest of the movie.
So Randal, to look back on his life, he decides to make a movie because he hasn't felt like he's done anything with his life. And I think that's kind of like the age-all story with everyone, especially any kind of creative.
You finish this review for us.
That sounds about right. And I'll wrap this up quick because I'm not as funny as Andy. The movie goes down the path of Dante and Randal reliving their lives and reliving the previous films in the shape of making a film about their lives. And due to this, it's a great homage to the first film and the second film, but mostly the first film. They bring back like all the customers or anyone who's alive and available. They bring all these actors back. They play in little small bit roles, and it's amazing. It is so good, and it's funny, it's engaging, it's really great characters, and it's a decent, really written well story for an aging audience. You know, 26 years ago, Clerks 1 was fantastic for the mid-20 range, or me, a teenager. But as a 40-year-old, I'm worried about my own mortality, and I'm worried about what I've provided the world. So it's a beautiful send-off to that. And as the story progresses, it starts getting more emotionally home-hitting. And they're still doing the fun dick jokes. They're still having fun with it. But
Did Jason Mewes hang dick?
Jason Mewes did not hang dong.
Okay, I didn't miss anything then.
Yeah. And by the time I get to the end, I was crying like a little baby. It is such a good movie. It is the perfect ending to a comedy trilogy, which honestly is impossible to do. I mean, besides Naked Gun, I can't really think of 3 comedy movies back to back that were good enough. Naked Gun. The trilogy.
Okay.
Oh my God. Anyway, that's Naked Gun 33 1/3 is Andy's Criterion film. If she believes any film should be immortalized forever.
I was talking about Jason Mewes. I thought you were.
No one can hear you. The movie is fantastic. It is a hell of a lot of fun. I think going into this movie with Andy's mentality of just glancerily seeing the previous films is not going to do you well. I don't think watching this movie without a deep understanding for A, the previous films, and B, how the previous films were made, I think you're going to not get so much out of it. There's so many literal inside jokes, like inside jokes that were never in the films, but you had to understand how Kevin Smith made the movies and all the shit that happened, how the movies were made, that it makes it hilarious, just jaw-dropping, and all these things that are happening in the movie. So many things happened in real life while they were making Clerks, and it makes it a very personal, diary-esque, journal-esque journey, and it's a perfect way to end the series. And if they continue on with the Smod universe, with the View Askew, Jane Silent Bob universe, I think that's wonderful, and I think they are because I know Mallrats 2 is coming out soon, Mallrats Harder, or whatever it's called. I'm fine with that, but this was such a beautiful, perfect send-off for the series that I'm happy. I'm super happy with this movie. Would you recommend Clerks 3?
Yes.
No one can hear you.
Yes.
What was your favorite part of the movie, Andy?
I really did like the emotional send-off that Kevin Smith did at the end.
Oh, during the credits?
I woke up for that. That was nice.
Yeah, you woke up like right before that happened. Halfway through the credits, the music kind of trails off, and Kevin Smith comes on with a directorial commentary for like the last 3 or 4 minutes, and it's beautiful. It's really well done. The ending credits, it was really sweet to hear him say it. It was kind of like he was here watching the movie with us, and that's kind of how it's always felt. Like when you watch like his first film, it always felt like, hey, my buddy made this movie, and I get to watch my buddy's movie. He did something that I've never seen any other film credits do, was when he did the thank you list at the end, he thanked them for things. Even if it was like simple, like thank you for bearing with me, these last 30 years. I've never seen that in a movie, and I thought that was really cool. So we had to pause it and we read each one, and it was really nice. Would I recommend it? Wholeheartedly. The more you know about the universe, the more you're gonna love it. But it's a truly great film that I loved. But I don't think it's a strong enough film on its own. You had to have at least seen Clerks 1 and Clerks 2. It helps if you've seen all the rest of the films as well, because then you get the other jokes about, hey, Silent Bob and Jay have been on different movie sets. They've made movies in the past. This is nothing new to them. It was good. It was far better than I was expecting it to be.
Did you just fart?
I don't know.
You did.
Take us away, Andy. Did you fart?
No.